5.1 basically refers to surround sound, which is your
Mm.
five speakers and your one LFE. And the reason why it's very popular is that it kind of, as you said, engulfs you into the
Mm.
movie. You know, you feel
Mm.
like you're part of the movie now. Now, when you have 3D space and 3D sensory of what's happening around you, you kind of forget you're in reality.
Welcome to Kamli ki Kahani again. This is a podcast series where I want you to get to know some of the most incredible people in the world who were a part of the whole journey, who made Kamli happen. And today I have with me Liam and Ateek, who were a part of our sound team. And I believe that a little out of focus shot for a few frames, a few seconds can be forgiven in a theater, but a little scratch in the sound, a little distraction, a little something off just kills the magic. So it is a visual medium as people would usually like to believe, but honestly for me it's a 60-40, and 60 is sound. Sound is what differentiates between television and OTT and all of those. So I think for me, cinema has to have cinematic sound. Thank you for giving me such a cinematic sound for Kamli. I would like to begin with just brief intros, guys. So, Ateek, what have you been doing? Where have you come from? Why do you do what you do?
Mm. So I'm originally Pakistani. I grew up in Qatar, and the reason I'm involved in sound and my love for sound comes from a musical background.
Ah,
Because I love music and I love science, I kind of put the two together, and I just love the idea of manipulating sound and basically the psychological impact of that sound gives in a film. I'm in love with it.
right. And Ateek, you are trained in it? Like you have an academic degree or it's just fondness and experience?
That's both. I have a degree and a lot of experience with sound.
And I'll be honest, I think very few people, I mean, I come across people who want to be directors of photography, people who want to become actors, people who want to become writers, but it's just refreshing to hear the word, oh, I do sound, like I'm interested in sound. And we'll talk about that. Liam, background, where are you from? You're both based in Qatar right now, but are you from Qatar?
No, so I'm originally from Scotland.
Right.
I was born and raised in Abu Dhabi, so I'm much more of a, a Middle East kid than anything. I don't even have a Scottish accent. Um,
You don't.
no, so very similar background to Ateek, where kind of born and raised in the region, but not from the region, and similar influences, coming from a music background, realizing as well that I'm quite passionate about films. So it's how to combine both passions, and then I went into film sound.
So, your brilliant team, your brilliant studio not only helped us with sound design because I know we needed like that last stop revision where I felt that the design needed yet another layer and tweaks and additions. And so, first of all, let's talk about the sound design of Kamli. What did you feel with the material that you received, and then what did you two magicians did to it?
Honestly, all credit goes to Kashif Ijaz. He
Hmm.
did majority of the work. And when we received it, we were extremely surprised and happy the way we received it. We're like, this guy's very professional. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's catered towards the film and the storyline very well. Um, and all we did was, the finishing touches to his work. And I think we just carried on whatever he originally planned.
Hmm.
And the notes and everything that we received from you and Nadeem Bhai, they they were subtle, but they really did enhance the overall sound of the film.
Liam, how would you say, as a practitioner, and then also I think deep inside we're also film viewers. We are just people who love stories, and that is why we do what we do, like be it through sound or visuals. So if you were to say analyze the sound design of Kamli, how would you look at it? What would you say about it?
It's a great question, actually, because the first thing Ateek and I did when we received the files from you guys was watch the film in its entirety, right? Just as viewers, the way it was. And number one, even as myself, like not speaking Urdu, um, you could feel the emotion coming through the screen visually as well as sonically. But what I liked with the material that we were given was, I think Atik put it the best, where it was subtle but important. It wasn't too overstated. It wasn't understated either. It was, I don't want to say just right, because that's like a very cliche thing to say, right? But it it, it felt correct. It felt correct. It felt true to what I was experiencing visually, which is the best thing, right? Where you can engulf your audience and make them lose themselves for an hour and a half or 2 hours in a theater, where they're just encompassed by the story that's happening in front of them, and they're feeling the feelings that they should be feeling, you know?
And I do feel that the sonic world of cinema is actually much more powerful, because that is one exception. Now you can have a great projector at home and you can buy like the largest TV that is made to date, and so the visual, and at home you can really, amp it up all the way to 4K and whatnot. But sound is an experience for which, I would go to a theater. Now, coming to this other stop, and honestly, I come from a background of TV, and TV production in Pakistan, unfortunately, until a few years ago, sound was a very neglected department. It was just like the labs, or if you were lucky, somebody with a boom would be there, and we are almost used to, say, doing some ADR on our iPhones and sending it back to the editor, and so it's not as meticulous as one wants it to be. Now, when it comes to film sound, I mean, it's not just on-location recording. It's not just dialogue editing. It's not just design. It's not just the background score. It's not just the ADR sessions. Then the mix, which honestly, and trust me, it really matches how much money you're spending on the visual, to be honest, and perhaps a little bit more sometimes. So now we come to the mix, and for people who are just interested in our story, the Kamli story, that final stage, what can it do and not do to a film, the mix?
Well, I mean, there's a kind of saying that goes around that you can forgive poor visuals, but you can never forgive poor sound. Right?
Yeah.
If we've done our job correctly, nobody is going to notice that.
Right.
They're just going to be consumed by what they're being shown. And audiences are quick to pick up bad sound. I think more than a dodgy or a bad visual. You're fighting to what's happening with what's happening on screen, as well as creatively. You're fighting with frequencies. You're fighting with emotions. You're fighting with visions as well. You're trying to be considerate to everybody's vision that's put effort into this. And obviously we have our own personal ideas and visions and stuff. So you try to make this cauldron, this accumulation of everybody's feelings and passions and vision towards this project come to life sonically. And I mean, it's like I said, if we did our job well, nobody will notice. Everybody will just be engulfed and happy with it.
So Ateek, I grew up watching not a lot, but quite a lot of cinema. I mean, I would have wished to watch more, but 5.1 for me is just the most exciting thing. I'm like, oh, the door opened there. Oh, that little note of music came from there. But what is the science of it? Because honestly, in Pakistan, we do have great facilities to do color and VFX and all of that, but we do not have many options to do a 5.1 mix in Pakistan. And I just wish, so I mean, for people, just to give them a little know-how, like a little tweet about what 5.1 is.
5.1 basically refers to surround sound, which is your 5 speakers and your one LFE. And the reason why it's very popular is that it kind of, as you said, engulfs you into the movie. You know, you feel like you're part of the movie now. Now, when you have 3D space and 3D sensory of what's happening around you, you kind of forget you're in reality. It's like when you listen to music, it gives you all these emotions and everything, and you feel like you're part of this different world. It's an escape from reality. And that's what 5.1 is doing for you. It's really bringing whatever you're seeing on screen and making you believe you're there with them.
But as Liam said, that it's also a question of actually finding those sweet spots where it is not extra, where it is correct. It cannot be that the sound becomes more exciting or more, like registerable in comparison to the visual that you are seeing. So on Kamli, like, of course, I know it's a music-heavy film. Like we have 6 songs. And local audience, I know they have a thing for, Atif Aslam is singing and Reshma ji is singing. So we want a little, like, as we say it in Urdu, ke bhar ke aaye zara, khul ke aaye. Like it really needs to hit you, So dealing with that, and I believe in I like the word cauldron that Liam used, that it's a cauldron where a lot of creative collaborators are pouring in their artistic vision also. So my background score composer, I do feel like, he put in a tad bit more than I wanted. Like, like I could have taken music out of a few scenes. But then I was like, it's his film also. And so with all the music and all these, like, I don't know, like innumerable layers of songs and music and dialogue and foley, what was the approach towards the 5.1 mix on Kamli?
I think to put it simply is do the film justice. What does the film deserve at this moment? What playing to some degree with audiences' expectations as well. Like you said, the music heavy sections within the film are I don't want to say straightforward, but they have their place, right?
Right.
That is the place for the song. That is the place, but it's the in-betweens. It's the finessing of the in-betweens where does if Hina was walking into this shot, should her footsteps be a little bit louder to show her hesitance or her intrigue or fear, or a simple footstep can translate to so many emotions. So like you said, in that cauldron, it's finding that balance and that finesse to do justice to the project and to do justice to that vision.
Have you guys done like many films with songs? I mean, because this is like perhaps the heaviest film songs wise for me, like of my career. There are 6.
It's the first one for me.
The first one for you.
First one for me.
Was it fun? Was it daunting?
I will say not speaking Urdu. I was humming the tracks every single night after leaving the studio. I was obsessed. I may or may have not kept a personal copy for myself to listen to in the car, but
it's on Spotify, and I can send you more.
No, I'm just joking. But no, every single night, I have no idea what I'm saying. I have no idea what's being told to me, but I'm humming every single track, every single night.
No, I think I will share a subtitled version of the film for Liam alone so that he can read the subtitles and I mean,
with the little Urdu that I know, I was translating the movie to him the whole time.
Yeah.
No, and some of the Punjabis, by the way, really like thick. For example, one of the songs has poetry from it's Bulle Shah, who was I think 16th century, and that dialect of Punjabi is not only just super beautiful, but it's not a dialect that we speak anymore. So even for us, that poetry has more of a spiritual connect as opposed to what they're saying. Now where 5.1 magic really happened, where it almost gave me like 10 seconds of being unsure. That there's a shot when she's telling the story about the traveler and the cloud, and the camera is on top, and first it's on ground and it moves a 360 on its head, and then it goes on top. That's where you panned sound in in a way that, I was almost like, where am I? Like, because I left Sakina there and now she's panned from right to left. And everybody seemed a little, like when we were reviewing it. But that does it. I mean, it just adds that layer that, oh, this story is going to come and bite back. You will want to recall this story later. And I was just too pleased. I was like, a part of me is feeling a little disoriented right now. But that, as you said, that footstep, that panning, where does the sound go? It just makes it so like wonderful.
We're so happy that you liked it.
Any favorite scene that you had a lot of fun sequence where you had a lot of fun mixing?
Definitely that scene that you're talking about.
The same scene where Sakina is telling her the story.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. And she's walking around the bed outside in the courtyard.
Yeah.
What would you say? I really like the fire scene at the end. The fire scene was really nice to play with. Even the scenes where we're introducing the radio in the background, playing with the announcement on the radio. What else?
I was gonna say every scene, it was uniquely interesting to work on, to be honest. I mean, my favorite scene was the fire scene, but every scene had its own kind of perks of working on. There was a lot of elements to play with because there's always something happening on screen. It wasn't just dialogue between two people all the time. There was the ambience around you, like what's happening here, what's happening there, like things that the audience might not notice, but psychologically influencing them. I think every scene brought that in.
No, and sound, honestly, and particularly in the mixed stage, for example, I wasn't sure about those wolves or dogs in the background in the first scene, because I'm like, okay, I do not want them to feel that it's a very threatening scenario where these two women live in this, kind of God-forsaken place where you don't see anybody, but you're still being given cues about, no, there are people who live close by or perhaps not. But about the radio trivia, I was going to tell you, who the radio voice is.
Yeah.
I was just too happy. I was like, in one of the scenes, I was like, okay, I'm a little bit up. Can I put a little note? I just want to be a little more audible. So I don't know if I was being...
I only realized it was you after one of the notes came in. It's like, oh, we replaced the radio voice and we took whatever someone was saying at the end. I'm like, oh, that's him? That's the only time I realized it was you.
Liam, Ateek, thank you so much for being a part of my Kamli journey. I'm so pleased to have met you, albeit virtually so far, and hope to see you guys soon in person. And I think films are just wonderful because they give us such a nice playground to come together and play, And I hope you just feel as proud as we feel of the feedback that we are getting for Kamli. And people now, I mean, we've blamed them enough for not knowing stuff, but they talk about things. Like, people are talking about Kamli's sound. They're talking about the raindrops. They're talking about, say, the thunder in the background where you don't see anything. So they're noticing things. And kudos to you, thank you to you, and congratulations.
Actually, I wanted to say as well to you, because this is the second film I've worked on with you.
Yes.
And even the first one, as Zindagi Tamasha, I was honestly surprised and very happy with the way Pakistani cinema is going. And I feel like you're the only one pushing the boundaries. And you are bringing in the controversial elements of Pakistan and showing this is Pakistan now. And it's amazing to see how much people are accepting it and they're loving it as well. And honestly, props to you. You're really pushing cinema in Pakistan to a whole new level. And I've been very happy and excited to be a part of it.
Likewise.
Thank you for helping me tell this story. Thank you for being my co-storytellers on this. And
you're very welcome.
Hope to see you soon. Thank you, guys.
John.
Thank you.